Back in the building once again. Blunt Talk Nola with your host for this evening, Silent Child 17, called Son. And my dog got with me today.
He died on the spot, and Chop Truck will be
Hey
somewhere in
man,
the
Chop Track, he'll be in the building later if he coming through. So, you know, we'll definitely get it started. How everybody doing? Everybody week been good, great, wonderful. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get this started. I don't want to be too long, keep y'all too much, but I just ran into some, some other information that happened about the trial itself and a lot of things that is going on behind the scenes. Um, was this trial fair, or was this another? Was this trial fair, and was this just um another thing that was another court case that was unjust? Uh, being just due process. So we're gonna get into that. That's the question for the night. You know what I'm saying? If anybody wanna think about anything of what you're gonna be seeing tonight, basically that's the question. Um if anything else needs to be questioned, you know what I'm saying, it's definitely gonna uh have you wondering or just bringing more questions in too. So don't trip about if you have anything else or anything. A lot of this stuff is just developing during the week. You know, uh, a lot of this stuff is after the fact anyway. So the young man has already been convicted, and there's a lot of backlash behind the conviction because of what's been uh being exposed as far as new video, uh witnesses that wasn't used, um and what their testimonies was, and is. So, and we have some other stuff too with the father as well. We got an update with him. We showed y'all last week how he cutting up about how he feel about it, and went on his little tirade about how he feel about the whole situation. He's saying it's not racist and stuff like this. So what people have been seeing is showing them forms of racism if it's not full racism. And a lot of the times
so they say.
the other side don't want to uh, talk about these situations, these
On up.
unfairnesses that happens all the time when it comes to certain things. And to not pinpoint it is unjust to me, you know. And for anybody who's rocking with unjust, going along with uh this system, you're wrong too, and it needs to be handled, especially today's time. It needs to be definitely talked about with social media and everything going on. So without further ado, before we get into other news, P Dot will like to say a few words to his people. You got the flow, P.
Yeah, I want to send out my condolences to a family that I've been a part of and friends of for a very long time, man. To the Bernard and Wilson family, um, my condolences goes out. My friend lost his son, Dwayne Wilson III, and you know, I went to that service today, man. For all the fathers out there, man, when you lose a child, especially your only boy, that's a different type of hurt. And I just want to send my deepest condolences from Blunt Talk, as well as my family and friends who know me, who know how I feel about the situation. I want to send my deepest condolences and offer up a brief moment of silence. And we're done. All right. You have the floor, Solid.
Yeah, bro. Sorry to hear that too. Blessings to your people, bro. Definitely.
Yes, sir.
All right, P. With no further ado, though, you could get some of these other news is out the way. You know what I'm saying? Um, Mine could be considered other news, but I'm gonna let you rock with this one, and we just gonna move on from there because I think we might have a discussion about what you about to show. So let's not keep the people too much longer.
Let's not
You know
keep
what
it
I'm saying?
moving. All right. So I'm not sure if I showed this video already, man, because I wind up saving so many doggone in other news clips. But this brother pointed out something, man. They they're saying that the whole case was corrupted from the start, so which I think we as the people on the outside actually see it because we've seen so many failed so-called attempts at justice, right? That go
What case you
sideways.
referring to?
The Carmelo Anthony case, and it's weird because like some of the videos that I've seen, man, they like, oh well, they showed him, they said he threw the knife, and looking at the type of knife that they say it was used, I have one of those. You can't
If
just fold that knife
not to cut
close.
you off, P, but if you're about to show anything that have to do with the Carmelo Anthony case, show it when
Oh
is
no,
your
this
turn to
this
present it for the
this particular
topic
in other
because
news
that
is
wouldn't
talking about
consider it other
basketball.
news.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Talk
I went off track.
if you got anything different from the case, then that's other news. Okay, cool.
Um, this person, he just really giving his take on um, the information that he was able to gather about the case, the judge, the lawyers, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just play it, and then we could talk about it, and let I'm gonna try to edit out as much of his stuff as possible. So, there we
Into this because y'all would not believe this. It just keep getting messier and messier. Remember the black guy from the video who said he saw footage of Carmelo and Austin? It
Well,
turns out
you
he
did
was
play this,
telling
P, and
the
that's what
truth.
I'm saying. This wouldn't be
go.
considered
Okay,
other news.
yeah. So if I did play this is a bad one. I tell you what, let me get out of this one. I had some other stuff I had. At the top.
Yeah, what I was saying, anything to do with Camilla and anything like that, just save it for the segment. Anything different, go totally opposite of the case. That's what we gonna do with the other news. Like, don't put
Yeah,
nothing that go with what the topic is with other news, because that's the
yeah.
whole bit of it being other news. It's other
Yeah, I'm
stuff
about
that
to
we need to
bypass
actually
that.
talk about
But I
before we
did.
actually get into the segment.
I got you.
So nothing related to it. Don't don't even worry about it.
Yeah,
Just save it for the segment.
got you.
You
Got you.
good? I just want to let you know to keep to keep that what it is. Basically, it's
I
other
did
news.
find
So
this one though.
strictly focus
Um,
on that, and then
this one here is hella interesting,
yeah.
dog. 'Cause I did not. Well, I kind
I'm
of knew
still a little
because
behind too, a little bit. So just pardon me. I'm like a couple of seconds behind.
okay. But I did find this one here, man. I was actually going in the store the other night and I found this one. It says 94-year-old man who was born on Louisiana plantation and picked cotton as a child wants to obtain a birth certificate and says he's always struggled to prove his identity. Now, the crazy
Oh
part,
wow.
the crazy part about this is during the time that he was born, there was no such thing as a birth certificate. Like he was able to get a social security card, you know, several decades or whatever the case may be later, but they do not want him to be able to prove his identity
What
because
year he was born?
he was born in 32. However, he still was on.
What year he was born? Because
They're saying he was born in
there
1932,
was there was there was there was birth certificates.
right? But he
There
was
was birth
born
certificates, Pete.
slave
This was 2 years after the Reclassification Act. Right.
So by him
So
being born
what they're
on
doing is
go
they're
ahead.
not giving him his real classification of who he actually is because of them reclassifying people as Negroes. These
Mm,
people were American Indians before 1930.
fact. That's a fact. Because I just saw something about that too.
Everybody
So
didn't sign over on the reclassification day. This is how we lost a lot of our people and a lot of our actual history. 1930. So think about the year. Think about the year he's been. Think about the year he was born. 1932. 2 years after the Reclassification Act, and they're telling this man that
nah,
there's a
dude.
problem with him
Right.
actually finding out who he is by not having a birth certificate. Of course he
Mm,
does, P. This what people try to confuse you with because you just reclassified my whole entire race.
fact. 'Cause I looked
So
at
that's a
when
big
I
part of
found
this
out how
too.
old he
So I'm
was, I was
glad you brought
looking at
this
the
up,
fact
brother.
that my grandmother was born 10 years before him. You know what I'm saying? And so being that now, I'm looking at the fact that if she was born 10 years before him, and she had a birth certificate, then I know he should have had one. But I also thought about it. He was born on an actual slave plantation too. And they still were, even though slavery was supposed to be illegal, he still was working as what you would consider what's the word, a sharecropper or indentured servant or whatever like that. But under the guise of a sharecropper or an indentured servant, he still was being a slave. Like he still was a slave, even though they was saying that the Emancipation Proclamation had free slavery and all, free slave stuff. They still had slavery going on in certain
Well, no,
places.
he wasn't
It
still a
wasn't
slave. He was actually freed. He just was one of the ones who stayed on the plantation and just decided to work for these low wages. These people were mentally fucked up. Yeah, that's true. They did have slavery going on in other places where they were still practicing those same type of tactics, but they had to write down what they were paying these people and all that stuff too, because the tax
alleged.
people they had to worry about them too. See, to run a plantation, it takes a lot of leg work when you don't have the right machinery to just get somebody to get on and do it. So a lot of times these people stayed, bro. No, they stayed on the job. That's real talk. I showed you Jones Plantation, P.
Yeah,
I
that
showed you the Jones
I'm
Plantation.
still telling people about that movie,
A lot
bro.
of these people were mentally fucked up, dog. And a lot of the times they stayed and worked, not for fair wages, though. I'm not saying they were paid fairly.
Right.
I'm not saying it was paid fairly. I'm saying that they stayed there in the thought process of it being a job now, and still treating these people the exact same way as if they were still enslaved. Remember, this they put the slave story on us. Why? Because they want us to believe we come from somewhere else with the transatlantic slave trade. But at the same time, we're figuring out that a lot of our people were prisoners of war. They went to war with these people and became slaves through war. They were captured. You know what I'm saying? They were
Mm,
took. They were took forcibly. The daughters, you know, were forced to be married into stuff like that. you know,
Ooh, excuse me.
forced labor and shit. Now that you're captured. So a lot of people don't think about it like that because the drama behind the transatlantic slave trade. But this is evidence right here, Pete. This is evidence of this of
Documented
what
evidence right
actually
there.
happened. This is evidence right here. Now, birth certificates didn't mean what it means to them because didn't need we didn't need that already. Yeah, I'm not we didn't document like that the way they documented it. So this is how
Right.
they was able to do the reclassification. Your papers was your family, your tribe, and who your people was, and that was traced. That was traced basically. You it's like it was more of a birthright than you actually having a certificate of birth. You didn't have to prove that you was born. You see what I'm saying? And that's how they changed the game, P, with the Reclassification Act,
Mm-hmm.
because they wanted a piece of the American pie. They wanted to be a part of this. So the only way they could do that is to change birthright into birth certificates. This is how they was able to hide the money and everything through the birth certificate, through the numbers. So a lot of this was played on a lot of people too, and they didn't understand what was going on. They just automatically assumed that they was, re-registering for how shit was going, basically for who we was. They didn't think that they were actually stealing who they were, or trying to erase who they was as a people.
Right.
So it was
They
a,
didn't think
P,
they
I'm
was
just saying,
giving up nothing.
it was a lot of fuck shit for this to still exist, and this man to actually have the gripe that he have about it. It says a lot, and it shows a lot through history. Yeah,
All right, so
yeah. But
let's
sorry
check
for
it
being
out.
so long winded. That's this mic.
Nah, you
Don't worry
good. You
about me, bro.
good. Look, they need to know just as well as I need to be reminded.
I was born on LB Plantation, Shreveport, Louisiana.
August 14th, 1931 is the birth date for James Dorsey.
As far as you could go on the plantation,
31.
that's where I was living at.
Life for blacks, Dorsey says, meant living on the plantation even after the Emancipation Proclamation was issued in 1863. While slavery was outlawed, manual labor and its grueling conditions were the only option,
I think I was about 8 years old.
even as a child.
My grandfather used to take me out in the field with them, and
Yep.
they have me on one side of the road and picking, couldn't pick your budget because I was so
You heard that,
little,
P?
and give it to them, they put it in their sack.
Dorsey says he would soon learn as an adult that he faced another challenge, proving who he was. Because of routine practices on plantations, he was born to a midwife. Also common, a record of his birth, he says, was never recorded.
I went to the courthouse, I went to the school board. While I was going, the school board, they were over everything. All the school and plantation with the school zone, they were over everything.
Dorsey says he would move to Houston in 1956. Over the years, he says, he's been able to get a social security card and driver's license, but not a birth certificate. Now, at 94 years old, he has one wish.
Oh, Lord, I don't know. I allowed to go crazy. That sure would be something because I miss out on so much.
ABC 13 reached out to the Louisiana Department of Health. A spokesperson directed us to the state's Vital Records Department
Beautiful.
to submit an application and follow the process.
What was your mom and dad name?
At Dorsey's home and with the help of his daughter,
I will not put the in where it's a Parish LRB plantation.
line by line, the application was filled out.
I pray that they get his birth certificate for him
That's right.
because he really need it. And he been wanting to get it, but he didn't know how. And so that's when we turned to China 13.
What the birth certificate mean for me is, boy, said, I just couldn't. I couldn't even pronounce what it would mean now. I was born on LB Plantation.
So just imagine going 94 years of your life knowing that you were born, you know when you were born, but because and from the way the man is explaining it from the news station is that during that time, if you were born under a midwife, there wouldn't even be a record.
Nobody knows you. You're not even here. You don't even exist.
Because you was born under a midwife. And so that's the part that's making it hard for him to even get the birth certificate, is because he wasn't born the
right. You don't exist, P. They just having babies and using them as free labor. They just having them, bruh.
Birthing them and putting them to work. So just imagine, if you will, that.
Yeah, bro. It's not even. Think about it like this. Even if them white babies had midwives too, P. So that's what I'm saying. It's not about the traditional way. It's because he was a little black boy who was a prisoner of war that was stuck on a goddamn plantation where people didn't give a shit if you had a birth certificate or not. Remember this. White people had midwives and shit too, P. But they had a fucking birth certificate though. Why? Because the paperwork was there to recognize that child. See what I'm saying? They didn't give a fuck about him because he's just about to be another worker. So that's the difference, people. It ain't because it's a midwife or the traditional way. Remember, these people did the same shit, bro. They had midwives and shit too. Everybody couldn't make it to the hospital, people. So you had doctors that did house calls, brother.
Yep.
That give you baby.
That do the
you know what I'm saying? And then give you the certificate out his goddamn suitcase and say, here, ma'am, this is what you gotta sign. See, for the little black kids, for the little boy that was, you know what I'm saying? It didn't matter. Give him a name, and take care of him until he ready to
kick the butt.
Be out there in the field. And then Brown just told you, man, they had me out there in the field by the time I was about 6, 7, 8 years old. And slavery was over, nigga. So master didn't even have to have a master no more. They just automatically thought that this is what we gotta do. We gotta fucking work. So I'm gonna get Lil Round out here too to try to get us some more money. This is crazy work. It's crazy work, Pete. I'm telling you, they fuck people up mentally, bro. The miseducation of a black man is crazy work, Pete. And the more we dig, bro, the more horrible we see that we have been treated through history, bro, without nobody even blinking a fucking eye.
Well, that's what I heard from
DD 504, what up with it?
Happy Juneteenth. Hope y'all out there being safe while y'all Juneteenth thing. Yeah, that's my new word for the week.
That's what's happening, player. Well, we can move right into the topic if you want. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, happy Juneteenth to everybody too, as well. While we're on this beautiful topic, you know what I'm saying? Happy Juneteenth. It was way fitting just now for that topic right now. So definitely something to think about. What else did you catch from Grandpa? I know I gave my point of view, but what else did you catch from Grandpa, and what you thought should be the process besides some of the stuff I debunked?
What do I think could have been the process? Like, if if that man, from my understanding, from what he said out his own mouth, he ain't been trying for years. And it's basically like the state is giving him the runaround on the matter. Like if he can tell you where he was born, what what year he was born, what date and month he was born, that is enough information for you to be able to say, here's your birth certificate. If he was able to get a social security card, the only way you can get a social security card is by what? Getting a fucking birth certificate. So how you gonna grant this man a social security card without giving him a fucking birth certificate first? Because you know that's how they tell you that's the only way you can get a social security card now. You can get a birth certificate. So if he got the birth certificate and a goddamn driver's license, so he got a birth certificate, I mean a social security card and a driver's license, both without no birth certificate, right? So if you grant somebody a driver's license that's got their date of birth, the year they was born, the state, the city, and all that, shouldn't that be grounds for him to just be able to say, hey, this is what should be on my birth certificate? So if all that, why is our state the only one saying, oh, he got to do a paper application and follow the process? But he followed the process to get the social security card. He followed the process to get a driver's license. And as far as I know, you can't get either one of them without a freaking birth certificate. You see what I'm saying? You can't do nothing without that fucking birth certificate. So how is it possible that he was able to get two of the three things that you need to say that you are an actual alive person? Now, going back to the thought process on me personally, I think the state, like you see, is because he was born around the time of the
that's a fact. Right.
Reclassification Act. That's why they don't want to do it because they know that that man
It
may,
contradicts their bullshit.
and the fact that being that he might be the oldest living person that lived on that fucking land, that land has got to be entitled to him. If he the last living descendant of anybody that lived on that fucking land at 94 years old, and all the other people that lived on that land was there, or and is no longer here, and he the last one, he entitled to the fucking land.
He might be entitled, might be do something. Exactly. Now you're digging deep, P, because think about the social security number and what does that stand for as a straw man. So these people, there's something serious, bro. That's a great point.
So that's just, I mean, but that goes back to, um, I forgot what that shit is, man. It's some, I ain't gonna say it's something new, but it's I forgot the name of it, but it's like it's the specific organization out now that goes through the archives, and they do it by using what your name is now. They go through archives using your now last name and dig back through all of the different archives that they got, both on your mother's side and your father's side. And they dig through those archives and they find out, okay, well, this is who your people was on your mama's side. This is who your people was on your daddy's side. This is the land that they own. This is the, the amount of wealth that they had, or whatever the case may be. They are literally helping people find shit that belonged to them during the time of the, belonged to their family during the time of the Reclassification Act and all these other land grabs that they had, and helping the people get their shit back. Like, I find this to be the most amazing shit, because if now you're telling me that my folks who had land that got stolen from them, and through archives work and a little research, you're saying that you can help me get that back? That will change the face of America if enough people actually go through that process. Like you really buckle down and say, you know what, I'm gonna invest my time into finding out how deep this line goes. Because if that man was born on a plantation back in the 30s, and let's just say that plantation had 500 acres on it, that man's a millionaire, and he's 94 years old. I mean, whoever owned that land got to get the fuck. Whether they bought it or not, you got to get the fuck because you didn't buy it from the original owner. That's how, and I'm hoping that that's how that shit works. Because if it don't, that would be something that would be truly upsetting to me. But yeah, man, he might be entitled to something just because he was the last living descendant born up on that land. And what if he had the last name of the actual person who owned the plantation?
Yeah, even him working at 8 years old, like there can be a whole
child labor laws
claim that could be had for the whole situation and everything, bro. It's crazy work. I mean, yeah, I agree with you.
I see Chop made it in the building. I don't know if he let the be brought up on stage. But that's all I had for in other news.
That's what's happening, P. You could we could jump into the segment then, brother. You could play that first video and get it popping.
All right, give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull up the playlist. And he said it's the first video. I'm trying to get it lined up right quick so won't be no delay in the process.
Yeah, I wanted y'all to hear I wanted y'all to hear an opposite side of what's been going on. I had this lady on online. I just wanted y'all to hear this. Y'all just tell me what y'all think about this. I think it's that lady, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this saying, yeah, she's saying the parents are crazy. They doing stuff and they wasn't there, and she went on this little tirade. So y'all check this out and tell me what y'all think. And we're gonna jump into some more of that evidence after this one. Dan Calloway did something. Shout out to Dan Calloway. We gonna talk about that. And I got one from Introvert Rockstar. Shout out to Introvert Rockstar. He had something to say about that too. So we're gonna get some different perspectives on this. Remember, we're not a biased channel. We talk from both sides. We see what's going on. We evaluate stuff. So let's get it.
While most of the Black community is crying about Karmelo Anthony having to spend 35 years in prison, I'm crying about the fact that his parents weren't with him in the courtroom when he was sentenced 35 years in prison. That he didn't have his mom and his dad beside him. That while his parents are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars, keep in mind their fundraising goal is over $1 million. and they're choosing to buy a house, while they're getting hundreds and thousands poured into their fundraiser, they aren't by their son, who is guilty of murder, spending 35 years in prison, that they're not with him in the courtroom.
Who is wrongly,
that is what makes me
wrongfully
sad.
convicted of guilt.
That should be a wake-up call to the Black community, a wake-up call to anyone. It makes me have more faith that he was a nice person, that if he was raised by different parents, maybe raised in a different community, that he wouldn't have done that he would have understand proper ways to use self-defense. It shows the parents, it shows how they are, and it also kind of shows how the Black community is setting kids up for failure. How we're teaching them that just because you're Black, you are less valuable, that nothing will go your way, that you have to kill to survive. That is not the case. That is setting your kid up for failure. That is brainwash, that is corruption. What makes me sad, and what should make everyone sad, and not just the Black community, is that his parents weren't with him in the courtroom. That they could have spent the last second, minute, hour with him, with their own son, instead of being wherever they were at. What is the fundraiser for? For you to get a better house? For vacations? For a new car?
I don't understand where all of these donations is coming from without people actually vetting the character of the people that's getting the donations. It's weird.
All right, I'm gonna pause it right there because I don't necessarily want to get into the dialogue of where the donations coming from and what the donations are about. What I want to talk about is what she was saying about how we're setting our kids up for failure by teaching them that we have to defend ourselves with violence is not an option, or not being an option.
Nah, you could cut him. You could cut him. I just wanted you to hear her anyway.
So, first and foremost, we have to understand as people of color that deep down inside, no matter how we try to defend ourselves, whether it lead to
rewind it a little bit and put the picture on her while you got it posed too.
All right. Put it back on. I don't know if they did the screen on? I'm trying to get it ready to do the screen. That might be the first. Oh, okay. That one. Come on, man. My computer playing.
Yeah, because I want people to see her while you giving your point, brother. Because you don't have to play him at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just show her talking. That's cool.
So, looking at what she's saying, me personally, I even say this to my coworkers, like when
you right about that though with the case. You didn't even mention anything with that, and we don't know why the parents are not there, and the parents aren't, and his parents aren't the only one doing fundraisers. The people of the other side, they did fundraisers they damn self, and that man is almost at $1 million. So it's a lot of stuff that we could, jump into just from last week.
Just from that, right? Because we talked about that last week about the father doing the fundraiser and the mother of Metcalf doing the fundraiser. We also talked about the mother of Karmelo Anthony doing the fundraiser. So let's not, as they say, get into semantics with it, right? Because that's eventually what it's boiling down to. You're concerned about the parents doing fundraisers. Remember, money was being offered up long before the parents even said anything about a fundraiser, right? Because the people were automatically letting people know, hey, this appeals process is not going to be cheap. The lawyers to fight the appeals process is not going to be cheap. So celebrities went to offering up money before the parents even asked for anything. And like as soon as he was found guilty, they were like, "Yo," his lawyers was like, "Yo, we're gonna appeal this process." Da 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 da. And next thing you know, celebrities started coming out saying, "Well, look, this is what I'm putting for the appeals process for his attorneys and so on and so forth." Because you got to look at it. This type of stuff that draws this much attention, and like I said, after he was found guilty, where's all these Ben Crump lawyers at? Why Ben Crump ain't take the case? Why you know why all these high priced come out of the blue, speak on everything black lawyers pop up, but none popped up for this particular case, right? So going back to her, your main thing that you're focusing on is why is his parents setting up fundraisers? Why weren't his parents in the courtroom? You ever thought maybe it was because they were told not to come in the courtroom? Right? Maybe because they got banned from the courtroom? Like, nobody thinks that can happen. That can actually happen. The judge can have you removed from the courtroom for the entire duration of a judicial proceeding. Whether it be fair, unfair, neither here nor there at this point. But your main concern that you're focused on is not anything that we could consider to be a valid argument in this sense. Because the man's case was what I call the railroad job. He was railroaded. So his parents setting up fundraisers, okay, they don't own a home. Okay, so what's wrong with them wanting to own a home if they decide to use the money to buy a home? As long as they have enough to pay them legal fees, right? A new car. As long as they got enough money to pay them legal fees. We don't know what type of finances Karmelo Anthony's family had leading into this trial situation. And we definitely don't know how much this trial decimated.
Broccoli casserole, he died. She's speaking from a hurt perspective or something. Like somebody fucking, I don't know, like, cause she's saying the mentality or whatever, but and all that other shit, blaming them for being parents to him or whatever, and the him not being, I mean, the them not being there, like they probably knew he was gonna get soaked and they gonna sit in there and fucking cause no antics. It could have been that because the judge probably was saying people gonna be held in contempt of court if they do this, that, and the third, make loud outbursts and all that. But people gonna do all that. They gonna, make loud outbursts and all that.
They gonna cut up, yes.
Yeah, it could have definitely been something that simple versus
what she saying.
That shit.
Yeah, because the only reason I can say that, bro, is because that happened at my trial.
I see that on the last episode. Like, they supposed to go through something. She's supposed to. But all parties involved. Motherfuckers like to give money out when the shit like that. So they all supposed to be, doing the GoFundMe or whatever. You ain't donate, that's fine. I get it. But there are people that did or whatever. And they gonna use the money for whatever the fuck they gonna use the money for. I'm pretty sure some of that money gonna be going to the man's books. And I'm pretty sure people that donated money straight to his books and all that type of shit too. So I think she's speaking from what I've seen is since this dude that went to jail, the only thing, like, I can't get on social media on no page that I got and not see police brutality or some shit like that. It's like they trying to incite a riot versus I don't know, like
a race war.
Yeah, they trying to pick people's brains and make them go off or some shit. But The police shit, we know what's gonna happen with the police. Niggas is complying and y'all still fucking with them niggas. So that's not, and then niggas is complying and y'all fucking over them, and niggas is and the shit getting on social media and people seeing it or whatever. But how you think that's gonna make people feel towards, the police and stuff? But back to her, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, dog. You can't blame how he was raised and all that. As a person, as a human being, if you understand people, you naturally are going to try to not to die, if that makes sense, right?
The first rule of life.
You're about the situation and somebody trying to hurt you, and you're supposed to just let them hurt you, or scream and holler and say, "Oh no, I'm not gonna fight you. We gonna press charges and bring you to jail and all this other shit." Boy, is you serious? That's how children that get bullied get killed or wind up killing themselves because of that shit she talking about. But that's all that.
Yeah, Silent. What you got?
Yeah, that kind of threw me off when she said better ways of learning. He could have learned better ways of self-defense when the dude that he got into it with was a damn jujitsu master or some shit. This nigga practiced all kind of shit too. So that was kind of weird with me too. P-Dot, if you want to run straight into the Dane Calloway video, you can, brother. We're gonna jump into this. I just wanted to get y'all opinion, and I agree with both of y'all fellas on this one. I think her ways was way misguided, and I think that she should chill out. She should relax, because is you making that out of something that ain't got nothing to do with it. You want to pinpoint some other shit that's going on with us, but you also
it's so easy to become a podcaster
making it seem like
Riverside.
that's the
First,
all the end all. Everybody not raised like that.
Account.
Everybody not
when
bought like that. And what you mean where he was raised at and all that? He going to school with white children and black children, so don't use that nigger community shit neither, ma'am. So we could keep it moving. Peter, shout out to Chap Trafer in the building. What's happening, player?
with it, but there was, oh no, that could be considered evidence. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's a still be public information.
And go to the 7-8 minute marker, Pete. Go to the 7 minute marker.
Immediately. What?
Yeah, see, and that's crazy.
You don't gotta play the whole shit. Go to the 7-8 minute marker, and we're gonna start from there now. And I want y'all to listen to this man. This is one of the witnesses. He's gonna break down the whole courtroom experience, y'all, and he gonna tell y'all about the whole situation. So we gonna listen to him for a little minute. So if you want to pause at any moments, do it with caution.
All right, I got you. Got up to 7 minutes and 15 seconds.
So, or download the ebook version exclusively at DaneMakeYouThink.com.
After you did all of that, after you gave your name and your ID and they buzzed you in, after you made it in, were there any instructions or who met you at the door?
Well, the instructions was, I forget the lady's name. A lot of people on TikTok know these ladies' name, but I forget the lady's name. She was I want to say like Middle Eastern descent. That was the receptionist. So she was like, okay, we got you in. You go have a seat in the lobby. And I believe her name was Michelle. And that was the person who who actually ran the video for you to see. So that she was like, go have a seat in the lobby. Michelle will be down and take you upstairs to go view the video.
You had to wait.
He not the only one that said the name Michelle was the person that showed the video.
Yeah, I did. I believe I sat there for about maybe 15 minutes. It was a nice little wait. I sat there for maybe 10, 15 minutes. And At the time, I thought I was the only
Pay
person
attention to
viewing the
everybody he
video.
talking about, fellas.
But I noticed on the side that I was sitting, it was just a gentleman sitting there, and on the other side of the lobby, there was a female sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
So as I was sitting there, the gentleman was waiting to actually serve papers because as I'm ear hustling, as I was ear hustling,
yeah,
I find out he was actually there to serve like subpoena papers.
So who?
Really?
Yes, sir.
So you waited for about 15 minutes.
Hey, Freeze, you should have asked him
to go to see the video with him.
That's when Michelle called me and the other lady who was sitting on the other side up to the locked door there at the foyer area to go jump on the elevator and go upstairs to start viewing the video.
So y'all had to go up an elevator, and what floor was it on that y'all got off on to see the video?
It was like the second or third. It could have been the fourth, but I just know we got on the elevator and went up 2 or 3 flights to go, check out that video.
Keep in mind, he saw it last year.
Saying this in detail is because this is our first time hearing like sitting down in the lobby. I think it is, and going up an elevator or whatever. If the
details leading up to seeing the video.
Forgive me, this is my first time really hearing this. So you went up an elevator. This is what you mean by this video was on lockdown. I mean, y'all had to be buzzed in. You had to.
That's true. It was on lockdown.
Then you had to go. Somebody had to lead you up an elevator. Go up an elevator, 2 or 3 flights, and boom. When you got off the elevator, then what?
Then we walked down the hallway. I believe we made a left into an office. The office had a little sitting area. It was like a couch on one side of the wall, and the wall that you walked in, there was another little couch and like a end table. On the opposite wall, there was another receptionist desk. So in that room, there were also 2 adjacent rooms. There were conference rooms with conference table. Well, one was an office. The room that we went into was had a conference table. So there was a conference table, and that's the room that we actually went into to view the video. But prior to viewing that video, we was instructed to take everything out of our pockets, phones, keys, wallets. So all my belongings went on top of that receptionist desk.
Okay.
And the other lady, quote unquote, put her belongings on that end table. So as we walk into the office, they have
I wonder why he said that.
NDA statements to fill out. Saying that
they made them sign NDAs?
Whatever else it said, there are copies on TikTok.
Y'all had to sign NDAs?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Wait. Hold up. So they had to sign non-disclosure agreements just to be able to view the video. So my question now is, what were the terms of the non-disclosure agreement? Like, because I can't see you being able to say you're signing an NDA and then during, or a matter of fact, after the trial was over with, they started talking about the videos. Now you, the lady, and the probably 2 other people that done came out and said that from what y'all saw on the video, Karmelo Anthony was defending himself. So what were the terms of this fucking non-disclosure agreement? Then secondly, why did y'all have to go through all, like, if it was that, if viewing the video and you had to go through that much scrutiny and security just to view the video, that sounds like that the state, the defense, and the entire
my whole thing, if it's so much up, shut and closed, why is it so secret?
Exactly. If it as they say, open and shut case, like you say, why is it so secret? Why so many cloak and dagger moves that you gotta do? And the only thing that should ring bells to every black person or so-called black person or person of color when it comes to these types of situations is They trying to hide something. They don't want the truth to be seen. And the only way that we can keep doing what we're doing is to falsify, hide, or either destroy crucial evidence that would show us to be wrong. They don't want to be wrong. They don't. And me and Chop was saying this last week. They do not want black people defending themselves. They don't want black people to be shown in the positive light as this person was right to do what he did. This person was right in defending himself in the way he defended himself. Who in the fuck thinks that you're surrounded by a whole bunch of people that are not of your kind, that are actively, aggressively approaching you using derogatory terms and slang, that you shouldn't defend yourself? So let's flip the script. If this was a non-person of color and he was surrounded by people of color and one of them was a bully and he had a twin brother that was a bully and they both was beating up on their daddy and their mama and all that stuff, and then both of them knew kung fu and went actively and aggressively approach a non-person of color and did some flagrant shit and one of them gets stabbed and killed, then what? What we looking at? Would it be as open and shut if it was a non-person of color? It would be hella open and shut. Oh yeah, not guilty. So why we gotta fight and hire an appeals attorney and go to an appellate court and have people signing non-disclosure agreements, and then not only that, use the friends of the decedents as key witnesses? They're going to lie for their dead friend. They know he was wrong. They don't give a shit. Oh, a single black man, he stabbed him. You know why he stabbed him though. Do you know why he stabbed him, or are you just saying that he stabbed him? See, that's the type of shit I'm gonna ask if I ever become a fucking lawyer. Do you know why he stabbed him? Why did he stab him? Oh, because he said he was in fear for his life. Oh, really? Why do you think he was in fear for his life? It's stuff like that that should be asked that don't get asked, and it is because those types of questions don't get asked. But again, we're not allowed to defend ourselves, even against our own kind. Even against our own kind. We see it every day. I digress. I'm sorry, y'all. I went kind of long way.
This video be considered a public, for the public? Like
it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. Correct. It's definitely supposed to be.
I never heard of having to sign NDAs, and I don't know.
They hiding something.
In case maybe I don't know, but like I never heard it. This is strange to me. It just sounds like some espionage. Like it just sounds strange to me because do you remember Rick Chow that gunned down the little black kid Cyrus?
Right.
They showed that video on mainstream media, right? We didn't have to sign off to see the Rick Chow video, the surveillance video of him actually leaving out of his store, running after that kid, him and his son. We didn't have to sign off on that. That to me, that's strange.
Man, we saw everybody else's video, but this
signing
one.
an NDA.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name.
In your phones, I'm sorry, but I just wanted to say that because that sounds strange to me, dog.
Yeah. I understand them not wanting people to record, but an NDA?
That's everybody who did the video. So,
So everybody that viewed the video had to sign an NDA. We just said that.
Michelle notices that the lady that I'm watching did the video. That's everybody who did the video. So, as we signed that video, we handed it to Michelle.
Facts.
What you got, Silent?
Michelle notices that the lady that I'm watching the video with did not sign the NDA. So she give it back to her, like, you know, can we please get your John Hancock on this form here. So you know, that's taken care of. Then at the end of the conference room, from the door, the end of the conference room, there's probably a 45-inch, maybe 52-inch, 50-inch TV up on the wall, and that's
a nice ass
video. However, the
I wasn't saying nothing. I was just ad-libbing when he said, when he was talking about them other videos, how we got to actually watch those other videos on mainstream media, but all of a sudden, motherfuckers need NDAs and shit. Crazy work.
And what's even more crazy is people forget that the video was also captured on cell phone record, because they were recording themselves fucking with that boy.
I thought when you signed the NDA, you can't say you signed the NDA.
There you go. You can say you signed it. You can say you signed it. Hey, they had us sign NDA. You just can't say what's the clauses in the NDA.
That's not admitting to a specific thing, but that is snake rat.
See, I could have be getting ready to do some shit in the workplace. Hey, look, sign this. And if you don't, well, what is it? Non-disclosure agreement. You can't talk about what we about to do here at this job site, right? You can go say, man, this motherfucker had us sign.
Yeah, you can say you signed it. Definitely.
You can say you signed it. You just can't.
You can't disclose what's actually in the NDA
or what it's about. So, him actually saying, "Hey, they had us sign NDAs." He's not breaking the contract as far as that part, right?
But he's definitely letting the nigga know that they tried to hide something.
Yes. And that's the thing that always should make people's antenna go up. Hold up. You're telling me that when you got to this facility, they had you wait downstairs damn near 10, 15 minutes before they called you up there. Then you get up there and they put you in a conference room with the people you was downstairs waiting with. Also, we still ain't got to the bottom of who or why subpoenas were being served in that. We still ain't got to the bottom of that yet. But that's neither here nor there, because we too far deep into the talent where he didn't think to ask, well, who are you serving? And
it definitely stands out. So, yeah,
9 times out of 10, when we think about it, the subpoenas that were being served were probably the subpoenas being served to keep key witnesses from testifying.
I know, Pete, don't get caught up into too much of it, brother. Let it run. That bitch is alone, dog.
I'm just saying.
You following him, bro. Let's
basically go. Well, the area that we're viewing on that video, on that 50-inch TV, the size that we're looking at is basically the size of these boxes. If you're on the phone, not the boxes on the laptop here, but if people have the phone, it's basically a 2-inch by 2-inch area that we have to.
Wait a minute, like what?
No, the little box. Actually, because I'm using my Android to chime in, so I don't know if people on their Androids or iPhones or whatever. But
okay,
I also have my laptop up.
I'm trying to understand what you mean by little boxes. What do you mean by that?
So I got a whole 50-inch TV, right, to watch the video, and I'm thinking I'm gonna watch the video on this 50-inch TV.
Yeah.
But when they show the video, the tent area on that video
is small.
It's only 2 by 2 inches. in the top left-hand corner of the TV. It's like they purposely minimized that video.
Really?
Nah, bro.
Yes, sir.
So
just to distort the view
that y'all watched on that TV.
That's a problem.
According to Lena and according to Kyra, right? And according to I think that was Lou.
Keep in mind that background noise is his.
Okay.
That's not me.
People keep asking, how do we...
Damn. Fucking commercial.
The video was still clear though. It was clear enough for you to make out who was who, and it was 4K.
It was clear enough as I'm looking at you on my phone.
Really?
Wow.
It was that clear. Reporter on our goddamn local station who came out there and said that video was grainy. And that's what I was expecting to see when I walked in there.
Yeah, we seen that on YouTube too. Those videos
everybody was saying
YouTube where the TV reporters are saying it was grainy and blurry, you couldn't see nothing.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I was expecting.
Even the people in the courtroom said that.
But when Michelle put that video on, it was shit. It might have been clearer than the damn video that I'm looking on my phone right here. It was crystal crispy clear.
Wow. Going around telling people about you guys, the people that actually signed up to see the video, and every time I tell it, talk to other people about you guys, most people are like, it's unbelievable. That's unbelievable, especially the naysayers. And it's that can't be true. It just can't be true.
It sounds like it's two different videos.
They would have been showed that to the public.
Two different videos. The one
and if
from
that
the cell
video
phone and the one from the stands
align with what them people said on that stand, that video would have been out last year in 25.
Right.
That video would have been out last year, April 5th, because it happened April 2nd, I believe.
Yeah.
That video would have been out April 5th, 2025.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree. If it lined up, if the video lined up with what they were saying it was, they would have been put that video out. Interesting.
I know some people say
this video right here was 2 days ago.
They ask you at what part of the video you want to start.
No, 1 day ago.
Was that the case with you?
So Michelle asked us, we had two options. We can either watch the video start at 2 minutes or 11 minutes. So, of course, I don't know who said 2 minutes. So maybe somebody came in there and just wanted to watch the action, but I think pretty much everybody who viewed the video started at that 11-minute mark. And that's also what we selected, was that 11-minute mark.
Okay.
And from that 11,
that doesn't make
yes, sir.
sense.
From that 11-minute mark, she explained, please, keep your eye on the tent, because again, the viewing area of that tent is so small. If you try to look at, which we did because we had 11 minutes, if you try to look at the people running around the track or the coaches on the field or the people in the stands, you might miss it. But we did see that because we didn't realize at that time, because at that time for 9 minutes, I'm trying to go back and forth. Because I didn't want to miss it. But for 9 minutes, we see Karmelo sitting underneath that canopy at the top, basically in the back of the canopy, for 9 minutes.
Wow.
That kid was on his phone looking down. He wasn't looking up, hollering at nobody, watching no girls on the track running around, standing up, doing some little TikTok that. He wasn't doing none of that. He was sitting down with his book bag in between his legs and his head in that damn phone for 9 minutes.
For the audience, I want you just to note, I just want y'all to note, up until this point, everything he's saying is pretty much the same thing
as everybody else
said on my show. Go ahead, T-Sturdy.
Everybody else's story saying the same thing.
Go back to that crystal clear.
But yeah, they were trying to say that he wasn't in there.
Because I didn't know when the action was going to jump off. But I kind of felt, since he gave us 2 minutes, I at least had, 4 or 5 minutes to look around. And in those 4 or 5 minutes, I could see umbrellas in the stand. I could see raindrops on the damn track. I could see birds flying. I could see coaches on the field. I could see, people still out there trying to warm up in a little drizzle. It was crystal damn clear. Now, I played ball. I played ball way back in the day when we used to watch film on 8mm film. So I know what grainy is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was expecting to see, some old grainy ass shit. We used to have to watch film on 8mm films.
You know the difference between grainy and what really clear is?
Definitely. At that time, you know, we're sitting there watching Karmelo, sitting there watching, you know, some kids walk in. We thinking this is it. But then we notice a group walk in. And, you know, if anybody is about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, here it goes. Because you can watch somebody and see their demeanor, see their disposition. And, you know, if I was sitting in the stands and I saw those boys walking, I'd be like, damn, what the hell they on? Because they were walking in there with a purpose.
Okay.
Again, just like Karmelo was sitting there, they didn't walk in, say hi to nobody. They didn't dap nobody up.
They walked straight to him.
Around. They walked straight in there.
Okay, that's what everybody was saying. Karmelo. They walked straight to Karmelo.
The others, there was
hold out. That's very important because all of them said the exact same thing. They said that they walked in. 2 of them split. 2 or 3 of them split, and then 4 of them walked out.
Now that's something else that a lot of
just
people
saying. You guys need to
realizing too is that even the witnesses, one of the twin brothers said it, and several of the witnesses that testified said that that's what they were doing. They went in there and they went straight to the tent where Karmelo was at, talking about, hey, you're not supposed to be here, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And then the twins say, when I went to go toward him, my brother was already going
Here
toward
we go.
him. And that's what happened.
Here we go, fellas.
Stand there. Everybody that saw the video that was not in, you know, before the court happened, everybody that saw the video outside of court said the same thing.
So there was one kid who was kind of jittery. They walked straight in there and was walking straight to Karmelo. There were 6 of them. So there was one kid who was kind of jittery and jumping around, like you could tell, like he was, you know, oh yeah, some shit about to go down. That was his demeanor. Like he jumping around and, you know, giddy and playing around. He was one of those kids.
So this is very important. You're saying that the way you seen Austin and the rest of his crew approaching and going up the bleachers, it already seemed like they was geared up to do something.
Already, bro. I know there's some people out there that's you know what's up on their P's and Q's. If I would have been sitting in the stands already, I would have been like, what the hell they on? Because again, they wasn't walking in looking around, dapping nobody up. They was walking in there with a purpose.
So they didn't walk, they didn't enter into that canopy or the memorial tent and sat down and was minding their own business for a while either.
That's not what they showed us, and that's the shit that's got my head spinning. Because they did not sit down.
Because that's what Hunter Metcalf was saying on the news and all. That's what he was.
Yeah, that's true. They was trying to make it seem like they were there,
which is not what was on that video. That's not what I saw. Period.
Okay. I'm trying to get y'all to understand how long they've been lying.
Yep.
How long they've been lying. Go ahead, T-Sturdy. So you seen them enter into the stands, and then what?
And then 2 of them break off. So at the time, they went out the frame. But I guess in the, here now, we found out in the testimony that those 2 went off to, deflect and block,
distracting the coach.
What, those other boys was about to do.
Mm-hmm.
So they walk straight up to Karmelo. And again, Karmelo's still sitting down. He ain't moved. And I don't know who all know what bleachers are, but bleachers in the rain are very slippery. They're very slick. So keep that in mind, right? Mm-hmm. So they walked up to Karmelo and they surround Karmelo. You had one, I guess that would have been to his right, 1 to his left, and 2 directly in front of him. And they're hovering over him. I mean, he didn't stand up. Okay. And that's
tell us the position again. 1 to what now? In front of Karmelo.
like a U shape. You know what I'm saying? You got one that's kind of, angled in from his right, one angled in from his left, and then those two are directly in front of him.
They were about to
One
jump
of the two boys directly in front of him was Austin Metcalf.
It had to be. Now, they made that thing small so you couldn't tell the faces, but you can see, everything about the bodies. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you couldn't tell the details in the faces, but you can see the persons.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So that let me that was crazy to me that he let him walk up on him like that in a bleacher because they're right in front of him. Like, as a man, you ain't finna put your private part that fucking close to my face. So they're over.
Wait, hold on, wait. They were that close to him?
They was on top of him, bro.
They was on top of him, damn near like they had they Johnsons in his face or whatever.
Yes, sir. That's why I said that kid was not. He was not like that, man. He's a good kid. He was not like that. Because I'm not letting you walk up on me like that.
Right.
And both Austin and Hunter are 200-pounders, 6-footers.
Him like that. They just
yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
This is Karmelo, and this is them. Four of them making a U shape over him like that.
Yes. Yeah, you
casting a shadow.
Karmelo was like 130, like a $130.
These persons were casting they were casting a shadow over him. It looked like. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So at that point, you really couldn't see Karmelo because he was
standing over him and shit.
So, and this is what I said from day one. You know what I mean? I know this is foul, but like I said, I prefaced it from day one. What I'm about to say is foul. They talked to Karmelo about 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah, it was on
the. I got to give it to
on the
him.
bleachers. They were standing over him and shit.
Quick. He wasn't.
Wait. Not Austin. I know that you said they.
All four of them got active immediately.
Yeah, see, and that's crazy. So all four of them was hitting him.
Wolfing and talking and clapping and all that gay shit. No.
There's no way that they missed that in court. There's no way.
Maybe 15, 25 seconds, and it was on the pop.
Bro, I'm just getting...
That's major.
It's making me upset more and more.
That's making everybody upset.
They jumped the boy. They jumped Karmelo Anthony, and from what you're saying, the U shape they made over him and how close they was, it was almost like they purposely didn't want him to escape. They purposely.
Man, why he let them walk up on him like that?
To beat him up. They went up there purposely with an agenda to beat this kid.
Why he let them walk up on him like that?
They went up there and got active quick, so they was about it. And like I told other people, I've been on both sides of that. I jumped up before. I've been jumped before.
Man, that sound like that was set up. That sound like they say, hey, there he go right there. Or somebody snitched, and they go Karmelo right there.
Just fighting.
As they are wailing on him and jumping him, and they got straight to it immediately, like you said, immediately.
That he was a part of him fighting four motherfuckers.
What did you see after that? Like,
wait, what'd you say, Tyler?
So P, you could cut it. You could cut it. Whenever you hear me, brother, you could cut it.
All right, I got you.
You could cut it, P. P, whenever you hear me, brother, you could cut it. I was saying you could cut it, brother. That's all I really wanted y'all to hear from that perspective. Now, we're going to dive into the next one, and that'll be my last one. And whatever you said you had, you could play that, and we could shut it down, brother.
All right.
Oh, if Chop coming back, or if he have anything
She behind the
uh
scenes right now.
present as well. But that'll be it for me. Um, with the one after this, from Rockstar Introvert. So most stuff came out about the daddy, bro. We gotta hear about what the daddy talking about, bro. Back in that town, P, I heard that they used to let the Ku Klux Klan. They had a case where the Ku Klux Klan people, or a white racist mob, um bum rushed the jail to kill some black dude. This happened back in the G in the little town. So they known for that type of behavior as far as when it comes down to certain people. It's crazy work.
Yeah, that is that. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to seeing that a lot of the stuff that they got from what I'm seeing going on with the Arthur Metcalf and Kamala Anthony stuff, because it definitely seems like a lot of the trial that we are watching and a lot of the information that we get now shows that this town has been on some racist shit, and that they are systematically doing what they're doing because they want to assert their dominance over uh, poor black people or poor people of color. Because that's what it looked like the Metcalf boys were doing, and are the ones that were involved. Even by their own testimony, that's what they were going there to do. But of course, when you got the wrong defense attorney working at your table, of course it's gonna go down. Oh yeah, wait. So let's see what introverted rock stuff.
Yeah, I'm a little bit behind. I already know, bro. That's this Bluetooth, the Bluetooth headphone is behind for some reason.
Oh, okay. Wait, matter of fact, let me make sure I'm actually sharing this damn stream. Am I is the stream being shared now? No. Hold on. I have to put it back on. I'm tripping, bro. I hadn't shared the video.
Who he is. Man, run the tape.
Hey, TikTok, I told you that when I came back, I would share some information with this platform. So at 4:30, I came on and I shared this. No other network has done this. You've seen it first right here with me.
Is everything good, P?
Yeah, it's good.
Metcalf. I broke it to the internet. Now, if you see it anywhere else, just know where they got it from. They got it from me. No other news network, no other TikToker, no other creator has this. In 2011, Jeffrey Metcalf was arrested for SA. Those twins was 4 years old at the time. Shortly after that, the mother, Megan, packed up those fucking twins and got the fuck out of that house. Let's put the blame on him. Let's blame him for his son not being here. We need to shift focus. I don't mind dragging a Metcalf through the fucking mud if I could save Karmelo Anthony's fucking life.
After Jeff Metcalf publicly called Karmelo Anthony names and continued speaking about Karmelo's family, social media users began revisiting Jeff's past. As a result, an old criminal record has resurfaced online, fueling debate and criticism from people who believe the public should examine all sides of the story, make that make sense. And again, in the words of the Williams brothers, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. Jeffrey. See, Karmelo was only 17 when he caught his charge, but you was 46 years old and saying people. You was 46 years old assaulting people, you big dummy. And then you had the audacity, bro, to call Karmelo a watermelon felon. So it's only right that I give you a nickname. I'm going to start calling you Epstein Jr. If you know, you know. But we'll talk about that later on in this video. So before I spaz out, look, y'all, I'm far from
Epstein
I be
Jr.
trying to let things go, bro. But at night when I'm sleeping, if something on my mind, I got to speak on it, bro. And I feel like we moved on too fast from this video. So I need y'all to really listen to what he's trying to say. Man, run the tape.
You don't even know who your daddy is because 78% of you don't have your father in the home anymore. You got baby mamas running around with 8 kids so they can get EBT cards to feed you all. You think I'm being racist? No, I'm being real. Oh, you got more melanin than me. Ooh, so you get more privileges, more entitlement? Because 400 years ago, someone actually sold you to us and we took you over here and put you to work. And then we had a civil war to free your ass. And now you want to talk shit? Oh, I've been so oppressed. You couldn't even vote 1960. Look how far you've come. Look at all the free shit we give you. You're not oppressed. You're fucking entitled. You know what DEI stands for? Yeah. It means I don't have to be fucking qualified. I just have to be a certain color or race or gender. Whose broad ass idea was that? I'm gonna tell you right now. Charleston White? You think you're funny? We'll see who's laughing. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such this little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about watermelon felon? How's that one strike you? I hope he enjoyed his first night in that cell last night, because he's going to have many nights to think about what the fuck he did.
According to CDC data, Black fathers are among the most involved fathers in America and often remain highly engaged with their children, even when they do not live in the same
websites your competitors don't want you to
And that is a fact that we've
All you do
covered
is go
on
to this
this
website.
show on several different occasions. So let's clear the air on that.
same household. The report found Black fathers frequently participate in caregiving, meals, homework, and daily activities, while non-resident Black fathers
Who bright ass idea was it was y'all white ass? That's how y'all got y'all bullshit. Y'all just got mad when it was time for anybody else to get this.
And then still was leading the top of the pack.
sense. And in the words of Luther Vandross, I'll play a song that would never ever end. How I love, love, love to dance with my father again. But guess what, Epstein Jr.? Those same Black fathers you talking down on, the same ones that got baby mama problems, the same ones that got problems with their kids, eventually they'll get to dance with their kids again. But guess who won't? If you know, you know. And look, I don't wish death onto anyone, bro. But your son, Austin, was a bully just like you. And if I'm lying in my comment section, tell me I'm lying. Then I said, wait. Epstein Jr. is so worried, so focused on Black families. He really mad because his ex-wife got a new man. He really mad because his son spanked him and broke his arm. He really mad because he knows that he failed his sons. And I can go on and on. Matter of fact, let's travel back in time right quick. Check this out. Jeffrey Charles Metcalf was arrested on June 14, 2011 in Collin County, Texas on a second-degree felony SA charge. The record lists him as 46 years old at the time, with the case processed through the county jail system. The entry also includes booking information and identifies the charge as a felony level offense under Texas law. Make that make sense. Then I said, wait. You was 46 years old essaying people? You was 46 years old assaulting people, allegedly. But then you had the audacity to talk down on Karmelo and his family. See, they can hear those saxophones getting louder and louder because in 2026, we all connecting the dots. And if I'm lying in my comment section, tell me I'm lying. See, these people, man, they love to project on us what they really doing. They people really on government assistance. They kids really got all these addictions. They kids hate them, bruh. They the ones who really creating broken homes. And I can go on and on. But like I said in my last video, Karmelo may be in a physical prison, but you, Epstein Jr., that mental and spiritual prison you going through is kicking your ass. And I love that shit. Before and after the trial, the Metcalf family gave interviews to numerous local and national media outlets, sharing their perspective on the case with a wide audience. Their frequent appearances on television, news websites, and in newspaper articles made them some of the most recognized voices in the public discussion surrounding the trial. Make that make sense. And look, this is the cold part. They used the media to persuade the jury before the trial even started. And if I'm tripping, in my comment section, tell me I'm tripping. I keep telling y'all, bro, all these people on the same team. Why y'all think Epstein Jr. was talking so crazy? Why y'all think Epstein Jr. was acting so tough? Because he know that everybody in that trial, bro, was on his team. The judges on his team. The attorneys on his team. All the witnesses they had, bro, was on his team. The DA on his team. The jury on his team. The media on his team. I can go on and on. They all know that Karmelo 2026, we got to move the same way. I said what I said. It is what it is. And you already know, before I end this video, I have to always speak from my heart. Before I end this video, I have to always speak from my heart. Look, Epstein Jr., see, he's not really mad at us. He really mad at himself because he failed his sons. And if I'm lying, in my comment section, tell me I'm lying. And another thing, Epstein Jr., see, from the jump, bro, say how you really feel and say that shit with your chest, man. Don't hold it in. Don't hide. And that's the problem I have with racist Caucasian people. They love to hide their racism behind religion. They love to hide their racism behind Jesus. They love to hide their racism by calling themselves Christians. They love to hide their racism behind the media. They love to hide their racism by saying, oh, we the victims. And I can go on and on. So to my people, if you have a platform, bro, it's up to us to always speak up for our people. It's up to us to always bring awareness for our people. I don't care how many subscribers you have. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how good you think your life is going. You have to always speak up. You have to always be a voice for your people, bro. Man, free Karmelo until it's backwards. I'm out, bro. But before I go, ain't it crazy how Caucasian...
Yeah, if you could hear me, P, you could cut that. You know what I'm saying, brother? That's all I had for tonight. I just wanted to spark the brain like I always do, you know what I'm saying? If you got anything you want to add on to that, you could add on to that. If not, you know what I'm saying, we could shut it on down, player.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, man, it's a lot that we got to take into consideration when looking at situations like Karmelo Anthony. And I think the biggest thing that should happen is that all the people who are now coming out making contributions to legal funds and stuff like that, as far as for people who are of color, like the minute you hear about it, y'all should automatically step your game up and say, you know what, I'm gonna send legal representation to the court for that particular person, because you know they can't afford good legal representation. You know they can't afford to have all of the bells and whistles thrown at a good defense, you know, because having a state appointed attorney or a lawyer represent you in a criminal matter is literally you saying you guilty, you know. And I'm not saying that you literally saying you guilty. It's just like, fuck, you know that they're not going to work on your behalf to the best of their ability because they're not getting paid that much money to do so. But if all these celebrities that's supposed to be out here, you know, like, oh yeah, well, we're going to donate this to the legal fund and this and this and this, why not do that before the trial begins? Like, as soon as you hear about it, bam, let me hurry up, get my legal team together and go throw down in this courtroom, get this person found out guilty. Especially seeing that you got so many witnesses, both that was in court and witnesses. Sorry, y'all, pardon me. You got witnesses that was in the court, you know, subpoenaed by the court to come view the video and so on and so forth. Why not go ahead and use every means that you have to assure that winning verdict for the defense? You know, it'll make everything so much easier versus waiting until they've been found guilty to say, oh well, but no, it's another contribution that we can go ahead and pay for a lawyer and we gonna go file for an appeal. But again, that's like what I said earlier. Well, these big crop people that should have been out there, Al Sharpton, Ben Crump, all these other motherfucking lawyers out there that's trying to make a big name for themselves, like, you know, because if I'm not mistaken, not even long before, since this is what, like, this is a trial that's almost like 3 years old. The dude like 21 now. He was 17, 18 when he went to trial. Like, didn't Ben Crump win a Lifetime Achievement Award around that fucking time? You know? So let's talk about that. Like, get these lawyers that's supposed to be out there that's doing all this good work for the community on some of these cases for the fucking community. And then maybe we could see some actual justice in the justice system. You know, but that's my final thoughts on it, man. I ain't want to drag on too long because I know I'm long.
Oh, good, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's good to talk about this and get this out. You know what I'm saying? And at least spark the brain of people, even if they're not fully invested in it. You know what I'm saying? At least you had that conversation where, hey, we talking about it, we bringing it up. It raises concerns, and who knows if it's going to be in your backyard. So is always to it's always good to be aware. Awareness is not a bad thing, no matter what they tell you in these times. But man, shout out to Diddy 504 for being in the building. Shout out for Chop Track coming through. P. Dot on the spot coming through. You know what I'm saying? Talking about this. Hey man, this was part 2. This I don't think this is the end of this. If anything come up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If y'all have anything y'all want to bring forth on any day, man, let's just keep it rolling. You know what I'm saying? It's not a mandatory thing, but just to kind of keep up with the case. You hear anything or anything pop up on any of these weeks, bring it forward, fellas. We gonna keep it rolling on this one, just like we was doing with the other ones. So, without further ado, we gonna end this one off with that, y'all. I am Silent Child 17, God's son.
And I'm P. Dot on the spot.
And Chop Tracks was in the building. And we gonna holler at y'all on the next one. Peace, love, respect.
Holla back, folks.